Hello and welcome to Inside Cottonwood, and good day. I'm Richard Faust, your host. I'm Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. And with me today is both Keith Vogler and Dave Boyle, and we're proud to have them both here. They're both representatives of the Marine Corps League, and what they do here is an incredible job throughout the Verde Valley, and we love to see what they do and how they interact, and I'll be asking them a lot of questions maybe as it pertains to that. But today we're going to be actually talking with both of them as it pertains to the Military Service Park. And the Military Service Park is going into the Cottonwood Garrison Park, but it's a Verde Valley Military Service Park. What that means is that individuals from throughout the Verde Valley who have connections or contact with individuals, family members or whoever, are able to do an inscription process that's upcoming, and we'll be talking about that with both of them as well here quickly. So I want to introduce both Keith Vogler and Dave Boyle, and I just want to thank you both for being here. I know it takes time out of your day, but again, it's one of those great things that, as we do things within the Verde Valley, it's good to see that, we're all working together, and it was great to see that the City Council was able to provide the land at Garrison Park. That was the direction we went almost a year ago, and now things are coming to fruition, and it's really kind of exciting to see this project moving forward. As we're going to talk also about Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers, and with Dave here for a little bit in the last segment. But I wanted to kind of jump in here real quick and start talking about, Keith, tell me a little bit, or Dave, tell me a little bit about the Marine Corps League. What exactly do you guys do, and what do they do throughout the Verde Valley?
Well, Marine Corps League, the primary objective is to support the Marine Corps.
Okay.
But we also, that's I'm being somewhat facetious there. We support, in Verde Valley, we support the Toys for Tots program.
Right.
And my wife really does that, but she does it underneath the Marine Corps League, and we also support any veteran, primarily Marine Corps veteran. If they need something, we'll be more than happy if we can to provide them with some help. Financially, probably, we'd rather not do it financially. If they need some groceries, we'll get them a food coupon and from Fry's or Safeway or whatever, Food City. They can go buy the groceries. If they don't have a place to stay, we can get them a motel room for a couple nights or something like that. So that's primarily what we want to do.
And I've seen that actually.
To help veterans.
Yeah, what you've done, and I had a contact with a Marine individual that I know personally as a friend, and you guys reached out to him, and I thought that was great. I don't know if anything actually transpired after that, but the main thing is you guys try to reach out to those guys coming back from war, and in the circumstances of action and everything else that they see on the front lines, and you guys actually make contact back with them. So it's really kind of a neat program. So I thank you for that. So let's talk about the Military Service Park. The reason behind, what is the reason behind this project? Because you guys originally looked at this project, what was your intent and kind of a direction there? How did that all get started?
Well, we had a new member that came in, and he suggested that we try and do a project, and he suggested we try and that we implement a military service park. And it's not a memorial park; it's for the current veterans as well as past. So we want to get the current veteran involved, and really what the reason for it is just to be able to provide an opportunity for the community, the Verde Valley, to recognize veterans and see what kind of sacrifices that that the veterans have had to undertake in order to get to where they are.
I see.
In order to honor our freedom.
Exactly, that was kind of it, and we'll go over that kind of as a mission statement here in a minute. So it's a military service park, and I know that you're seeing pictures of the architectural design on the screen right now, and the American flag is one of the big points of interest. It's going to be kind of in the center of the location, surrounded by 5 pods, which will be military pods with flag poles as well. And can you tell us a little bit about that? I know that people are looking at that from kind of the air. You've got a 65-foot flagpole, and there's going to be a 18 by 25-foot flag, American flag, on that flagpole. That thing is going to stand out very well.
Right. Throughout the valley.
Yes, it will.
Pretty much, yeah.
We wanted the valley to see it also from a distance.
Yeah.
Well, a lot
So
of
they knew where it
people,
was.
yeah, and a lot of people do a lot of their shopping in Cottonwood from throughout the Verde Valley, and they do drive down 6th Street a lot. And if you're on 6th Street, you'll be able to see that flag flying because, and if you go to the Yavapai County building and the county annex there, or there's also the medical building, you'll be able to see that big flagpole standing up out there, plus 5 smaller flag poles that are 30-foot high that will be having the actual service branch flags.
That's correct.
And so there'll be, then there will be an inscription pods. What will those entail? Those will be made of granite. And do you know, I mean, approximately how many names on?
Over 400 names per pod.
Per
I think,
pod.
I can't remember
It's
exactly. but
180 per panel.
per
Okay.
panel, okay, and there's 4 panels, so 4 times 180,
Yeah,
and that's
720.
720 names to be able to put on there.
Oh, that's great.
And there'll be one for each branch of the service for that too. Marine Corps, Coast Guard, all the branches of the service.
Right.
And as the need expands itself beyond the initial numbers, additional pods will be accounted for.
Okay, I understand. And that would be something that could actually be done because I know the park takes in probably just about a little bit over a half acre. I think it's more like probably 2/3 of an acre there at Garrison Park as it moves up and meanders through the park, which is really a nice thing because it heads towards the, well, I think currently that's the, there's a teen center up there that used to be the old fire department up on that end. So what opportunities does this location at Garrison Park for this military service park, what does that hold for the people of the Verde Valley, especially I think, you know, when we look at education, there'd be educational components for that. Tell us about that as well.
Well, we're pretty centrally located in the Verde Valley. That's one advantage, and it's easy to get to because it's right off from Mingus, and so that's another advantage. And it's right across from elementary school in Cottonwood itself. So that's, and we're not that far from Cottonwood, Jerome. I mean,
Clarkdale Jerome
Jerome School District, and,
Right.
and so on. So, and there's plenty of parking, so they can transport kids in from Camp Verde or Rimrock or whatever, Beaver Creek, I should say. And so, it's pretty well centrally located then for that.
So there'd be actually an informational, I think, as you actually walk up to the park and identifying, I think the envisionment of this group, because there's a large group that meets every Wednesday at the recreation center that are mostly military, but there are some civilians that meet with that have had, you know, people in the military and their families, and so everybody meets together. There's sometimes 25 to 30 people there. We can't even have enough room. Most time there's 12 to 15, so it works out really good. But there's a lot of people at these meetings. But they were going to design, I think, on the frontscape all of the wars that America has been involved with, the major ones, and actually kind of recite. So there would be an educational opportunity for the school districts to come over and educate the children as to, you know, what is the cost of freedom.
Yep, and what the primary conflicts. I think American Legion had an article just recently about that, and it listed maybe 18 to 24 of them, and you know, Korean War, World War II, et cetera. And so that's what we're going to try to put up there, and some kind of information regarding the significance of this particular conflict, whatever it is. And so that would be some of the educational part. There's going to be it's a walkway, so there'll be an opportunity for, you know, just somebody to reflect on the past and the future and that kind of thing. So the fact that all these names are on there, that's pretty significant too, or all these names that are going to be on there are pretty significant. That's part of the education process also.
Should we identify everybody in the Verde Valley, who they are, what communities are involved? Because I think a lot of people misconstrue what the Verde Valley is.
Right.
And you know, it's Jerome, Clarkdale, you know, Cottonwood, obviously Sedona,
Right.
Cornville, Village of Oak Creek. Then you go to Camp Verde.
That's
and
right.
Go Lake Montezuma, and those areas, and kids from all those schools
That's exactly right.
can come into the central part and see that park.
Well, and I think that there's over, if my memory serves me correctly, there's between 950 and 1,000 veterans that live in the Verde Valley area. So that's quite a few.
Yes.
And then if you look at all of the veterans that are attached to families and family units throughout the Verde Valley, that's really incredible.
Yep.
So it would serve a large group of individuals.
And there are a lot of the past and older, like World War II veterans that are still around, but living with their sons or their daughters, and may not be always identified in the community also.
So will this park, will this provide opportunities then for dedication or special days then to honor the United States military and those who fought and served?
Oh yeah, should be a real good location, I think, for Veterans Day, Flag Day, Memorial Day, any other Veteran Day that we could come up with for July 4th.
Sure.
You know, there should be should be an excellent opportunity because it is centrally located.
I think so too. I think that would be a great location. And again, I think, like you had indicated, there will be a pathway that'll wander up and give people the opportunity, because that is kind of a quiet area up and through there.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of nice for people to reflect back and to look back over that, because it'll be a beautiful park area. So, so talk about, okay, the military service branches. Again, what do those entail?
The Army, the Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard.
All right.
Yep.
And there's a segment of veterans that from World War II, Merchant Marines.
There you go. I was going to ask about that as well.
Yeah.
And I think there was also U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary as a possibility
Yes.
there
Coast
too.
Guard Auxiliary,
So they could
yep.
all be kind of placed in that. And so people that have relatives or family or individuals, friends, let them know that this is moving forward. We are getting inscriptions. We definitely have inscription applications that are available. And I know I have one here, and it definitely is just a one-pager, and it does ask very specifically, you know, the name and the branch of service. And
But that's pretty important. What you just said, the name and branch. We don't care what they did in the military.
Right.
We don't care what their rank is.
That's right.
It's just the name and the branch of service. That's all we want. That's all we're going to put on.
That's
on
it. That's
these
all that will go
monuments.
on
Yeah.
it. So
And there's movements within the committee also to identify canine
I see.
issues.
That'll be fun. That'll be an interesting thing to see too. We're going to take a 1-minute break here, and I just want to thank these gentlemen again. Thank you, David, and thank you, Keith, for joining us today. Come back, and you know, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Service Park in our second segment. And my name is Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Thank you for joining us today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. It's a great day today. Again, with me are both Keith Vogler and Dave Boyley, and we appreciate both of them here from the Marine Corps League, and talking about the Military Service Park and what exactly it is and what it entails. We've been going at this as a group now for almost a year, real close to that, and we again are very appreciative to the City Council of Cottonwood to provide the land property at Garrison Park in order to build and construct. We'll be going over maybe some of those details on when we plan on starting some of the construction here upcoming. But I wanted to go over the inscriptions and what the cost of those inscriptions are, and the idea behind the cost itself also, Keith.
Okay, you introduced what the form is that everybody has to fill out.
Right.
I think on the form it gives the cost. It's $75 to have your name inscribed on there. It isn't going to cost us that much to get the actual inscription done, and any excess is going to go into a fund, and then if someone wants to have a name put on there, and that name meets the qualifications, then we'll have funds available so that nobody will be turned away, basically, is what it amounts to.
That's right.
So, and the qualifications are you have to have served honorably, so a general discharge under honorable conditions is adequate. And to prove it, you have to have a DD-214 or be a VA card, or some of the people in World War II and maybe even Korea. There's a fire in St. Louis, I believe, that burned up a lot of documents. So actual discharge form would be adequate. And in some cases, I mean, even World War I, there's going to be lack of documentation. So maybe some cases we may have to even do word of mouth, but it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. So.
Right. And I know there's newspaper clippings or things of that nature too that can be brought in. Now the DD-214 has personal information on it, so they can either block that out, but just make sure that your name is on it, and then the branch of service, because that's all we want to see along with honorable discharge or any of those. But we will take, as soon as the application is reviewed and approved by a small group, a subcommittee, they're immediately destroyed. So they're shredded so that no one sees those ever again. So just wanted to make sure, because I know that we have had some individuals say, well, they didn't want to give a copy of their DD-214. And I understand that, especially in today's world. So so if you do have your VA card or United States of America certification or military service form, those are just a few things that we use that actually identify that you were honorably discharged.
Retirement ID cards.
Retirement ID cards, they all mean that you've been honorably discharged. So now, where can someone pick up inscription applications? I know at the Cottonwood Recreation Center, we do have those, and they are available at 150 South 6th Street in Cottonwood.
Our endeavor is to make sure to the service groups like the VFW, American Legion, and the like, all around the Verde Valley, have them available also. And if most of the people in the committee are members of those organizations as well. And so that being, it's very easy to get a hold of an inscription form.
So it gets out pretty quick then who's got them.
Right.
So if you do know of anybody, and if they're connected in any way, shape, or form, we are definitely taking them. We have, I think currently we have pretty close to 86 individuals for inscription purposes. Right now we have around $6,100 at this point that will be utilized specifically for engraving and inscription purposes. And as Keith, you had indicated, there will be, for those individuals who cannot afford that, there'll be a financial assistance program as well.
To expand on that a little bit, each organization, the service organization, like the American Legion, VFW, are usually named after a veteran who has ceased in wartime. An example is the Camp Verde American Legion is David C. Johnson, post 93. Well, they have also submitted an application for David C. Johnson, named to be placed on the granite slabs for the Army in this case. And he was a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
And his family still lives here. But the post took care of that particular one.
There was also for this, I think it was like the Camp Verde State Parks. Wasn't that
General
Crook?
Yeah.
General
Yes.
Cook. There was an unidentified sponsor for that, and that's been taken care of also.
Okay, so you can also you can go directly to, I think the library, Cottonwood Library has inscription forms. You can call 928-639-3200, extension 3209. You can get hold of me personally. I can actually mail a form to you if you would like, or just call 928-649-2129. You can also go onto the website, which is www.verdevalley.militaryservicepark.com. So that's www.verdevalley.militaryservicepark.com. It's on your screen right now, and you could also do that. You can also make donations right there as well. So we welcome that in any way, shape, or form. Now there's also an idea as it pertains to dedication with the memorial benches, I think, and bronze statues. Dave, you had indicated this possibility that there's definitely going to be one for a service dog.
Yes, that's in the motion, in the works right now.
It is, okay.
And in fact, the first stages of that has already been taken care of, and the artist has been picked. for a
And
statue.
I saw the renderings, and it's just incredible what that animal will look like.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's going to be a life size. It'll be put on a pedestal mount, and it just looks incredibly awesome. And who is the person that's doing that? And that's
James,
that's
law
Jim
enforcement
Yakabashi.
creation. Yeah, the
Yes.
law enforcement creation.
Right,
I
and
can
if you
pronounce
go
it.
over to the Cottonwood Police Department, they have both a statue that's been done by Jim Yakabashi as well as, I think, the dog, and for the police dog.
they do.
But it'll be a bigger dog at the service park, so just letting you know that. Now, tell us about the project itself as it pertains to the project contributors that have already stepped forward. I know that
You
you've
mean
got a
some of the-
project
like the-
manager and
Like the in-kind, we have a project manager,
Right.
Keith Newton, High Performance Building. Architectural design was Jonathan Schock. Project engineer is Luke Sefton Engineering. Surveyor is Dugan McDonald, and he's at work, I think, right now, if not in the very near future. Oh, that's what I was going to call Dave. Anyway, on the very near future.
you do that too.
He just remembered he's supposed to do something.
Yes, I know.
do some surveying right now of the whole park, topographical surveying, and what we also have is a young individual by the name of Sue Jester Conrad, and she's our graphical design, and she does an outstanding job.
She really does, and I know that I definitely have pulled up some of her work, and I know we actually have some of these things here. This is exactly what Sue does for us, and if you have a chance, we'll be talking about some of the challenge coins. She actually did the front and the back of the challenge coins, and it's just incredible what Sue does. Tell us real quick, Keith, if you will, what is the goal of the service park?
Well, I'm going
I know I understand. I would have to read that too, but there is a goal, and then we'll take another break.
Our mission statement is we are committed to the development of the Verde Valley Military Service Park in Cottonwood, Arizona. Our goal is to honor all military veterans of the United States of America who currently live in the Verde Valley, have lived in the Verde Valley, or have connections with the Verde Valley, who have honorably served their country, beginning with the American Revolution. The Verde Valley Military Service Park will be part of Garrison Park at 100 Brian Mickelson Parkway in Cottonwood. All branches of the military will be represented, and the park will serve as a lasting tribute to our brave men and women of the military.
There you go. I know once again, I just want to, before we take this break, is that they are taking current donations. I think there's around 31,000 that has been raised. Again, you can go directly onto the site, which is www.verdevalley-military-service-park.com, and there is a button that you can actually click on with your mouse, and it says for donation purposes. So if you're interested in donating towards this, this is a 501c3 nonprofit group, and you can donate directly, and it can go off of your taxes. We're going to take a break right now from our second segment before we move into our third segment and talking about the Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers performance that's upcoming here on April 30th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Richard Faust, your host today for the City of Cottonwood and Inside Cottonwood.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it,
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got, or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Thanks to Dave Boyley and Keith Vogler. They're both here today talking about the Military Service Park. One of the things here, we were talking about Sue Jester, and she lives in Sedona, but she does all of our work. And this is the challenge coins, and they're directly, you can purchase challenge coins at both the Recreation Center, and I know they're all throughout, again, the different posts for VFW and probably some of the American Legions. But this is incredible because it actually has the American flag that they utilize, and Sue did an incredible job on display on those, the 5 service branches on the back. And the challenge coins are used directly and specifically for fundraising purposes. Helps us actually as we move forward with it, what we're doing. Dave, I wanted to talk, so we're moving into, really fundraising purposes here because, man, you guys have got a national act. Tell us about that.
Well, it wasn't easy. It took a few months. But we were able to get a hold of some contacts. One name led to another name. And through that, we found some people in the entertainment industry. They had contacts with management people that book these types of people. The Gatlin brothers, for one. And you can name others that we've all seen on TV, one form or another. And so once we started the conversation going, we finally got a contract a week ago. And after reviewing it, the committee reviewing it, and understanding what our limitations may or may not be,
right,
and what's expected of us with the Gatlin brothers, then we signed it and sent it on with a deposit to take on this project. And so we're moving on with, but now we're coordinating things with Mingus High School here in Cottonwood because of their auditorium facilities, which holds about 1,000 people.
Right.
And I've never seen any place like that. It was nothing like that when I was in high school.
Yes, I know.
And the facility is just tremendous, and it'll accommodate what we need to do. So that high school is also is located at 1801 East First Street in Cottonwood. I think we all know where it is.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, it'll be a great experience. The ticket pricing for the event is going to be at $50 for general admission. But we can also go to $150 for VIP privileges as well, which includes a meet and greet with the performers after the event. And so the tickets are on sale now at Bash's in Sedona, Food City in Cottonwood. Oh, by the way, Desert Dancers in Cottonwood as well.
Oh, good.
There's another location, and we're looking at a few more.
All right.
Bash's in Camp Verde, and IGA in the village of Oak Creek. Those locations are the ones that are selling our tickets at this time.
That's great.
Although the Recreation Department also has tickets, and we've also sold some there as well.
Okay.
Prior to this, they had them first because we meet there.
Right, exactly.
And they had their hands out right away. That was nice of them to do that. And of course, we've already had some sales of tickets there already. And that can still go on. So moving on with this fundraising development, we have a promotional manager, and her job is to do nothing but solicit sponsorship funds. All sponsorship for this event is going to be routed through her.
All right.
So that we don't have too many fingers in the pie.
Right.
And she can be reached at 928-830-9933. Her name is Cynthia Richmond. So she will handle any and all promotional activities, whether it be in town, out of town, doesn't make any difference. We're in the business of fundraising.
That's exactly right.
So this is how we're handling it so far. Things are going well. In fact, it's going, let's put it this way, better than I expected so far. And this is early. This is the first day of ticket sales officially.
Okay.
So.
Well, and if you have the opportunity, or if you have the chance, and I used to have one of their albums, and of course one of the big songs that was all the gold in California, and I've looked up a lot of the artists, and one of the problems that we've always had when we do get artists in Cottonwood, some of them are really getting older and they've lost their voices, and I can tell you if you go online, the Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers, the way they sing and harmonize, they're still true to the voices that they had in the 70s and 80s. And it's really kind of neat to see. They're very patriotic, and they're very military, minded and patriotic in that context of things as well. And they sing a lot of patriotic music and songs. So I just wanted to let people know that. And again, you can call the Recreation Center as it pertains to tickets as well at that 928-639-3200 number, extension 3209. Let us know if you want tickets. We can get in touch with people as well, or you can come directly to the Recreation Center at 150 South 6th Street in Cottonwood, Arizona as well, which is directly at the Recreation Center. So there are those opportunities in order to get that. So tell me, when are we planning on construction? Of this park. I know we want to try to get boots on the ground. We've got all of these folks ready with all of their businesses, the 501c3, et cetera. And I know we would really like to probably start it sometime this summer. Is that correct?
Or sooner.
Or sooner. If whatever
we were
can
trying
do.
to start it in December, actually.
Right.
And we missed that mark because of other financial obligations we had for printing and of brochures and that kind of thing that kind of depleted our funds a little bit. But aside from that, let's face it, we need $31,000 to $35,000 just to put the flag up.
Right.
And we're close.
And that's going to be what, like the first substantive part of the project.
We're waiting to get the flagpole up at least, and then the military flagpoles will go around it at the same time if we can do that, because it's all roughly in the same hole.
Right.
But we need a big hole to handle that big flagpole. The 65-foot flagpole. It's going to be 8 foot by 6 foot, at least in concrete, solid concrete. So we have to be able to get that accomplished.
And I think that, people need to understand that flagpole is not just $500. That flagpole will cost us around $10,500 to $15,000, somewhere in there, depending on everything that goes into the ground and on up. So
That's right.
It's probably closer to $15,000. That's just the American flagpole. The other flagpoles that are 30 foot, they probably will be closer to 8, somewhere in there. Yeah, so you're looking at all of those costs. So if you can help, if you have the opportunity and you can donate to this program and this project for military service park for individuals, please call the numbers that we have provided, what's on the screen, or go directly to the web page, which is www.verdevalley.militaryservicepark.com. And that way then you can directly identify your donation and all of the information right there. So you can get more information as it pertains to the Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers concert for Saturday, April 30th of this year. So it's coming up really quick, and it'll be here before you even know it. So get your tickets now. So wherever you're at, if you want to try to find out where those locations are, call us, or just go directly to the bashes in Camp Verde, a couple of the stores and facilities here in Cottonwood. So there is definitely information online you can go to. But I again want to thank Dave Boyle as well as Keith Vogler. Thank you for all your service and your time, as well as honoring our veterans, honoring the freedom that this great nation has fought for. And I think this is going to be an incredible opportunity for people in education and getting kids out. What an idea this is going to be as it comes to fruition. So wanted to thank you again for joining us for Inside Cottonwood today. I'm your host, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Have a great day.